All right, so today we're snatching starting in Metcon 9. And then I'm gonna switch to a bunch of different shoes today that I brought to compare the Metcon 10. I've got a squat snatch every 115 for 12 rounds. Do the first couple rounds in the Metcon 9. Do the whole warm up in Metcon 9. Probably switch to CXT-2s after that, maybe RAD, and then V2s after that, and then the last 4 in Metcon 10, which I feel okay with, even though like I'm going down in the offset or drop. I feel pretty comfortable and acclimated in the Metcon 10s. Like it's really all I've been using for like the last 2 weeks now. So let's get this thing going. All right, so I can already feel that these are noticeably much bigger or longer than the Metcon 10s, and the grip isn't as good, not even close. But I'm snatching fine in them. I mean, it's just warm up, but they work. A little forward. I haven't tightened up my shoes. It felt pretty good. Big jump back, but otherwise caught really well. Yeah, it's something about like the platform of the Metcon 9 feels like stable because it's big and wide, but then like lift off through the extension, it feels like it just feels muddy. I don't know how else I can explain it. It's just not tactile. But I mean, if you're just planted, like you're just squatting or deadlifting, it doesn't really matter. Oh, ooh, that was money. A little back. So now we're going up to 75. Started at 70. Money. Good start. Hopefully the drop change doesn't screw with me too much. Okay, immediately notice the drop and the stability of CXTs. And the grip. My right foot got kind of stuck there. The grip is way better on these shoes. Honestly, feels like more cushioning than the Metcon 9s. And I think CXTs, they fit great for me. Lately, some of the sizes have been coming a little bit bigger, but these neon green, highlighter yellow, whatever you want to call it, these ones fit really well. The drop isn't too noticeable. You get a little bit at the very back part of the shoe, but that's only going to help you out if you're snatching. And then the weight of these kind of just falls in line with everything else. It's not egregious, it's not great, but it's definitely not horrible. And they're flexible when you need them. Go forward. There you go. It's pretty good. Caught well. Felt like it came away from me a little bit, but otherwise felt okay. I'll switch the RADs. Immediately the most cushioned out of all of them by a long shot. Still great flexibility. Even though the cushioning is there, they still feel very responsive, pretty stable. Forward on the catch. I'm gonna blame that on not tightening my shoes. But good through the extension, good feedback. Even though that cushion's there, these things still respond really well. But, you know, even though they widen it out the fit, these are still by far the most narrow ones. Oh! Ooh, yeah. Should've just tightened up my shoes. That was smooth. good extension, good catch, solid landing. That's why these are the ones to beat. Okay, that one is my fault. Good catch, solid landing. I did leave it out in front of me when I was extending past my knees. Second pull, I could feel it away from me, so I probably had to like drag it back to my overhead position. Oh no, I'm ripping. Still good. Good catch. Felt a little off, maybe because the floor is off, but I like was leaning, I don't know, to my left. Freaking left my tape at home. Otherwise I would just tape it up. Well, silly me. Okay, moment of truth, Metcon 10s. Money! Yeah, I know I'd be able to snatch in these. I mean, after going through all the different drops and coming back to these, it just feels pretty normal. Like I've been using these every day, and I'm really accustomed to them. At this point, my feet are like conformed into the shoe. Whoa, no, no, no. Yeah, baby. No problem on that one. Yeah, I'm feeling it pretty well. Like that last one, probably just left it out a little bit because I missed very forward. Okay, we'll take one more stupid crack at weight that I haven't hit in a little bit. 205, not super heavy, just haven't done it in a while. No! Had that. Give one more shot. We gotta strengthen the Hanmoon. Fuck. Try to stand up too fast. Alright, don't like it, but I hit it. Okay, I gotta go again. That wasn't satisfactory. Whoa! Maybe I am done. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Haven't squat snatched in these yet. And going from all the other shoes, which were all of my top tier picks, to these, had no problems with these. Obviously the weight is heavier, and I did the highest percentages in the Metcon, so obviously there's going to be a higher chance of failure. But I had no issues as far as stability and responsiveness going from any of those other ones to these. At this point, I think I'm like the most acclimated in Metcon 10s than any of the other shoes, which made, you know, transitioning between all the different shoes a little bit on the easier side. But like, I mean, I'm still pretty familiar with pretty much everything that I brought in besides Metcon 9s, because I use them, I would say, the most whenever I get any like chance that I get to use them, because otherwise, like, most of the time I'm just reviewing stuff and I'm just not using stuff that I want to use. But when it comes down to actually wanting to use something, it's either between CXT-2 or RAD V2. All right, so this video I'm going to be adding to the little snatch comparison that I did the other day. I kind of felt like I left that one off a little bit abruptly because I just wasn't hitting my snatch at the end. So today we're going to be comparing the V2s, the CXT-2s, the Metcon 10s, and I think that's going to be it. I'm not going to use the Metcon 9s today, and we're going to be doing some heavy power clean and clean and jerks. So it's going to be a power clean rest and then into a squat clean and jerk. I'll probably, I guess, start with the RADs, and I don't know, maybe I'll alternate between all of them. It just kind of takes a little bit of time, but I'm not like on any kind of time crunch today. So let me get warmed up and let's get this thing going. Kind of echoing what I said last week when I was snatching. Still very comfortable in RAD V2s. This is Josh Bridges colorway, pretty sick. And then I'm still very comfortable in CXT-2s. I think they're the best lifting out of the bunch, but we want balance, right? And where the CXT-2 is kind of towards the stable responsive spectrum, it kind of pulls it away from the runability and the flexibility spectrum. They're still flexible enough to do most of the stuff inside the box. I just don't think they're very good for running. And then RAD V2s kind of float on over more into the flexibility spectrum. Aren't quite as stable, but still more than Metcon 10s. Metcon 10s are in the most flexible point of the spectrum, but then are probably the least stable. But then when you look at it all in a whole, they're all good at every aspect. Like, these are easily the 3 best training shoes. I mean, you can throw in the F-Lite Max in there as well, but like those 4 and probably Strike Haze, those 5 shoes, those are the absolute best training shoes that you can get right now. Okay, so I think we're just about warmed up. We've got 10 sets. A little forward on that catch. Good power clean, but yeah, squat clean, kind of landed a little forward. Probably still warming up, which I think the mobility is still trying to get there and settle. Might have a lot of shoe changes today. CXTs, noticeably less cushion than RADs. Like, RADs are easily the most cushioned, but still very responsive. CXTs, more dense midsole, a little bit more room in the toe box, and touch longer, obviously. And we also have a higher heel toe drop at 7 millimeters. Big jump back there. Ooh, stable landing. Good response on the jerk. Okay, Metcon 9s. Probably about as wide as CXT-2s, to be honest with you, now that I have them both on. Almost the same shaped toe. For these Metcons, maybe about a 1/2 centimeter in the very front. Good grip. A little short on my lead foot going out. Got stuck. Feels right at home in the Metcons. Good ground contact. That last one, the grip on these in the toe and in the heel are like, it's primo. Kinda got a little shifty with my feet when I started. Kind of shot that jerk back a little bit. You know, I think if you're looking at it from a stability perspective, like, all of these shoes are pretty much equally stable. Like, saying that the CXT-2s are the most stable is really just like splitting hairs. And if you're somebody that lifts in your, or enjoys lifting in your trainers, I don't think you're gonna be dissatisfied with any of these picks. A little short on the power clean, but I got under it the best. are better than the Metcon 10s. Roll forward. Got under the clean pretty quickly, but messed up the jerk, and I knew I was gonna mess up the jerk, but for whatever reason I did it anyways, because I think the bar was barely on like the top of my palm, and I usually like to have that bar like completely seated in my palm. I just did the jerk anyway like an idiot. So that was definitely a me thing and not the shoes. To be honest, these are the shoes that fit me the best out of all of these. And I typically don't really like shoes that feel sloppy or that are too wide. A little low contact, but the bar landed in a good position. That was a pretty good power clean. Got a little toesy in the catch, but jerk was all right. Another shoe that I forgot to mention is Wild on Earth, which is also a very good shoe. With the upgrades that they've continually made through its life cycle, it's still very early in its life cycle, but they keep on updating mainly the upper to be less resistant to stretching. You know, on that note, let's actually just use some Wild on Earths. So Wild on Earths are another good all-arounder. What I really like about them is that they have very radiused edges on the outsole. So your lateral movement is very sharp in these. And the toe box has pretty good width. It's not overly wide for me. There's a little bit of length. And I think the fatal flaw with these shoes is that there's a little bit of heel slip. Big jump back on that one. Stuck the landing. Not a lot of drama, but big jump back. Shot that jerk high. Almost went out of my grip. But something that happened there that hasn't happened on any of the other shoes is that when I landed, my feet started to shift. So the grip could be better on these. So one of the things I left off in saying was, you know, my favorite shoes to wear are the CXT-2 and RAD V2, but I think you can add Metcon 10 into that list. Then of course we have Wild on Earth. We have Training Specials, which they're not the best trainer, but they're pretty cool. And you could do a lot in them. And then also Strike Haze, which is showing its age. It's still a good shoe, but I think it's time for an update on that. A little slow on the catch, slow with my elbows. Good jerk. Good speed under the bar with a clean. So I know the burning question is, point a gun to my head, pick a shoe, what would it be? If you pressed me like that, or I had to do a workout for money or a competition tomorrow, then right now, I would pick Metcon 10s. And the reason why I would pick Metcon 10s is because they're the lightest, they're the most flexible, and because of that, I find that they are very comfortable. And the stability, while not as good as the top tier shoes, is totally fine. And it's still very, very good. And if you looked at like stability shoes in a whole, Metcon, it would go like tier, probably RAD, and then Metcon. So they're not like far off the top. As I've said, any of them are gonna do just fine. A close second though would be RAD V2. And a close third, also depending on the workout, would be CXT. A little low on that catch. Good speed under that one. Under that squat clean, I got fast under that. So fast that kind of pinned me. The Metcon 10 review should be dropping by the end of this week. But of course, you can also follow on Instagram, where you're gonna see all of my workouts in my stories. I don't really post to the feed anymore. But I'm always working out in something new or different, or trying something new out. So if you're interested, give me a follow on Instagram. Better power clean. Good speed on that one. Yeah, kind of weird on that jerk, but it's probably because I'm hungry. And that's where we're gonna end this video.